Alexa, set the timer for 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Starting now.
All right, so you're saying that he would come, he would have the conversation, but he's already aware of the issues that you guys are having and everything that's going on in your relationship.
He would be able to say these are what Valerie's told me. He doesn't think any of them are valid. So there's a difference. Like he could tell you, you know, if you said, he would be able to tell you exactly this is what Valerie thinks the issues are in our relationship. I don't think any of them are valid. That's the difference. So it's not like he doesn't know what I've said or I haven't been able to articulate it. He would just say none of them are valid.
Okay. So my thought process with the whole bringing him into a session with you is to kind of like because I know that you have stated before that this typically leads into an argument, and when people get heated, you can't always have a fruitful conversation where everything you want to say is being said because of the level of frustration and tension that comes along with these arguments. So my thought process was if we were able to facilitate this conversation and counseling with a third party who if they just help the conversation go in the right direction, that perhaps it may be easier for him to understand your point without it leading to an explosive argument where you guys are not really communicating as well as you potentially could be. If that doesn't work, then we will reassess the situation after that. But I think that perhaps that might also be a good idea, along with you contacting an outside lawyer that's not a friend of yours who can give you like an exact description of how legal battle with him could potentially ensue.
Okay.
Is that something you're comfortable with?
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, that sounds like that would work.
Okay, and then in the meantime, I think that while you're coming to the decision of whether or not like a divorce is something that you ultimately want to pursue, or if you're gonna be contented with your current situation, perhaps we should find ways of making this situation a bit more satisfying for you, so that you're not constantly dealing with the in-betweens of your relationship. Is that something that you'd be interested in, or?
Yeah, yes, I okay.
So I know that you had said that you like enjoy meeting new people, going out, having fun. And outside of that, what are other things you like to do? I know you like to take your walks down to the beach, around the area that you live in. What else?
So I guess that's part. I guess that's part of it. Like, it seems like all the stuff I forgot to do, I've started to do because I'm, by myself. So you have to fill up the time. Like,
right.
and I think before, I think I talked about this the last time. I just was always so busy with work that I probably worked 80, 90 hours a week and just had a really hectic schedule and a lot of travel. Like, my job, I would probably put 40,000 miles a year on a car for work. So there wasn't time to do anything else. I mean, it was just time to get home, try to function as a family. And then every weekend was driving up to New Hampshire. And so I think I talked about this a lot. And so now that I'm not doing all that and I'm just working a normal 8 to 5 job, it's like, wow. And I don't have to worry about the kids because they're grown. I mean, the youngest one's at college, so she's not, she's not around on a regular basis. And she's kind of doing her own, she's working up in New Hampshire for the summer. So it's like, wow, I can really kind of do whatever I want. So, I mean, I found myself that I'm, back to like reading a book or just, I never really did house stuff. So all of a sudden it's like, wow, I can, like I painted, the entire house. I just, just stuff that I didn't, do before. So, I'd still like to try to meet more people, and I think the winter was the worst time to move because it was the winter and just and then the summer was kind of just now everybody's goes to the beach and has vacation. So I thought like going into the fall, it'll just be a nice time to get involved in some other stuff. I teach once a week, and so they asked me to teach in the fall class. So I really like that. That's probably one of my favorite things to do. And it's nice to get the extra income I would do it for free, so that so that'll take up my whole Monday night. So between that and school, like it'll be like super hectic again, which is what I like. So so I feel like I'm doing well with kind of all those sort of self-care things, and it'll be nice to the classes that I hate the weekend class thing because it just messes up. I just hate having to give up a weekend, so it'll be nice, to go back to not having to do that in the fall. So I think I'll be good. It just seemed like the schedule were just like the worst possible weekends that the classes were, even though it's like 3 weekends, it just seemed like they're the worst possible ones for me. So so I feel like I guess I'm losing my train of thought. I just feel like I'm really getting like, and I think that's in some ways causing stress in our marriage, because it's like I'm really like, oh, I'm doing this, or this is what I'm cooking for dinner, or I've kind of back to finding myself, if that makes sense.
Well, it's understandable that you're able to take the time and really focus on you when you guys are living in separate houses. He's at your other home Monday through Friday, and he's only really down here on weekends. So you kind of have to figure out ways to fill that time and really figure out ways to enjoy it while it's just you.
Right.
So it sounds like you're doing a great job with self-care too. You figured out all the things that you like. You're exploring them. You're going out, meeting new people. You're enjoying the things that you used to enjoy so much. So you're doing
Alexa, turn off the timer.
You're doing a really great job with self-care. The only stressor that I'm really picking up on is the current disparities in your marriage that are causing a lot of stress on you. So I think that between now and next session, it might be good if you do explore that option of figuring out, like, with a lawyer, like, hey, like, what exactly is going to happen here? Like, if this is a path I choose to go down. And then potentially having that conversation with him, like, hey, I'm currently meeting with a therapist on this day of the week. If you would like to, come in and have a conversation and just get an idea of, like, what's going on in my head right now. If you're comfortable with him coming next session, or discussing with him the potential for him to come to a session, and we can plan for him to come to another one.
Okay, that sounds all right. Let's do that.
Sounds like something you're comfortable with?
Yeah, I will try to get in touch with an attorney this week. We have an EAP thing, so I know I have access to that.
Okay, and if you have any questions or concerns, or the conversation doesn't go well with him between now and next session, if you have it, feel free to give me a call on my cell phone. You have that number.
Okay.
And we'll meet same time next week.
All right. Sounds good. Okay.
Good to see you.
All right. Bye. All right.